I am here with Sir Richard Stevens III. That's right, Sir, of the great webcomic Diesel Sweeties.
Sir.
You are Sir. But I've read Diesel Sweeties since probably 2002, right about when it came out, and I've always been a fan. And
that's pretty early. I've been doing it since 2000. So
yep, I picked it up when I was in high school, and now, you know, I'm in college, and it was actually the same college that you worked at for a while, University of Hartford.
Same college I went to as well.
You went to the University of Hartford. Now,
don't tell people that.
You don't.
Tell people that.
Now, what was your journey for that? For getting from the University of Hartford to finally settling on making your own webcomic and actually living off of it?
Journey? How do you mean? I just
like you went from art school, and then what were you doing as you know, for your income for a while?
I went from art school to some freelance design. I studied graphic design and did, you know, freelance web pages and worked on some CD-ROMs and got a crappy job working for the phone company. You know, did a lot of just straight up paid for stuff you don't want to do. And then during that time, I figured, you know what? I have free time. I am not attached to television. I'm going to take those hours and draw comics. I got very lucky. I was in very early.
Yeah.
Was one of the first people, I think, to figure out that you could make a business out of it.
Yeah, I think you and the guys from Penny Arcade were really the first two groups of people that...
Probably, we'll say we're among the first.
Yeah.
You never know who was first.
Right. I think Iliad with User Friendly was probably one of the first, but...
I'm sure there were some furries that made their money from desperate furry boys.
But you figured out that you can make a living on the internet, which is
not that hard. You just, you know, be honest and don't get venture capital and blow it. Don't spend all your money on expensive chairs. You know, make a little money every day and figure out what you can afford to live on.
Now you do the books, you sell books, you sell T-shirts and socks and other.
I love the socks. It's the best part.
Now, is that what you started off with? Did you? That is the robot.
Plush guys. We actually got some of these. These were handmade, fair trade little plush robots. So.
Now, obviously you didn't start out right off the box with plushy robots. No. You started out with did you pick up advertisers and anything like that?
Advertising is a small part of it. Unless you're a very directed niche comic, you're not going to get a very good ad revenues. And I'm more of a general audience kind of comic. So yeah, advertising has never been more than 10 or 15% of my income.
Okay.
It's been all merchandise. It's all about communicating. It's all about talking to people and just figuring out that the people who read you are probably similar to you. Therefore, if you make things you're really excited about, a couple % of those people are going to buy those things.
Okay.
And at that point, just making sure you have a large enough pool that you never overfish. And there's always a couple % of people that are going to be very enthusiastic. And if you make things you desperately want, they will follow.
Right.
It's actually quite nice that way. You can be honest.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Now you did do print for a while with the Diesel Sweeties comic.
I did a newspaper version of my comic.
And how was that experience different from the online experience?
I really wish that I had tried print 10 or 15 years earlier when there was a print market to sell new comic strips to. Let's put it that way. It was a very supportive experience. I had great editors, and there were really nice people working in the company, but no one is buying new newspaper comic strips.
Right.
Because whenever you put a new comic strip into the local paper, people complain. So no one wants to change the comic strips.
Right.
So it's not really in their interest to get new stuff.
And
it's sad.
It is. I mean, do you see, obviously, with a lot of webcomic artists here at the convention, and of course in San Diego, where you just came from, do you see that's where a lot of the media is coming to the internet, and you can just put it up for people to see?
It's becoming something where there aren't a very small number of people making decisions as to what people can enjoy, and anybody with a lot of, what's the word? I guess stick-to-itiveness, or like somebody, if you're persistent and you have some talent, or you speak to an audience that wants you, you will come up.
There you go. And you've been doing it for 9 years, so it's
my 9th year. 7 years employed.
7 years employed. Now, you were still doing the freelance stuff for your first 2 years?
I quit my job in 2002.
Okay.
Right? I think the day you started reading it, I think I quit.
it was all, I was like,
Memorial Day weekend?
I was like the 1 millionth reader or something.
But I mean, I still taught a little bit after that. I'll still take on freelance now. There's no reason not to.
Right.
But dropping the 40-hour-a-week day job is what I consider
Yeah.
employed.
But yeah, I mean, and it works. It's something that somebody
I make a
can
little
do.
less than I used to. I give a shit. I don't
But
care.
you're. It's not like you're living out of a box.
Yeah, I have an apartment. I live alone.
Right.
I have 2 cats. I'm fine. You know, I mean, if I want to start my work day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and go until 2 in the morning, that's what I do. If I want to do 8 a.m. until I fall asleep at midnight, I can do that.
Yeah, and I just really think that's, like I said with the guys that I just interviewed, I'm just getting out of college for, doing media and
You picked
journalism.
a terrible time to do it.
Exactly.
But if you can do it now, 5
Right.
years from now, the economy will be fabulous.
Exactly.
I'm telling everybody, if you can survive the next 18 months or so, either
Yeah.
the world's going to end or you're going to be doing just fine.
Are you a 2012 guy?
I just assume that you can't be too cocky when it comes to economics. And we can't say, oh, of course it'll be better. It might not be. But odds are good it will be.
Right.
You know?
And
if you can survive in this, you can do great when things normalize. Yeah, it's 2009, is it?
Yep, 2009.
We've been in kind of a recession for over a year. Only now are people, like nerd people, geeks, actually understanding that they shouldn't spend as much money.
Right.
So it's a good market to be in. People love to spend money on things they enjoy. You don't overcharge them, and you do it honestly, and they know it's just you. And I think we're fairly recession-proof that way.
All right. Well, that's great, and I really appreciate you
No
talking to me.
No problem.
Fist pound.
I hate video. I hate showing up on things, but I can't say no to you.
Thank you. Well, I
I actually just recently started showing up on video.
yeah,
I used to have to do it through a puppet.
hand puppet. Was it a red robot puppet or?
No, it was an old Avenue Q I painted with a beard, and I just had to.
Well, that fits.
Well, I wasn't showing up anywhere. And luckily, my vampirism has just been cured.
Oh, well, that's good. You can get out in sunlight, and I think a couple people around here might have that.
I've been eating a lot of garlic since too. It's been like, yeah, I didn't know how good it was.
Yeah,
You don't know until you can't have it.
that's right. That's right. You've been deprived of it so long. Well, I will grab some other guys here. It's been a absolute pleasure.